If you're a busy, career-driven man and you still can't lose your stubborn belly fat, it is not because you are lazy. It's because the game you are currently playing is designed for someone who doesn't live your life. And until you fix this, you will keep on starting every single Monday over and over again, spinning your wheels in circles, being stuck in your current situation. Now, I have helped hundreds of busy career driven men lose 30 all the way up to 50 pounds, all without giving up their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym or doing hours of cardio every single day of the week, and without wrecking their careers or family lives. Because, yeah, we also have our lives outside of fitness. And I say this every single time to every single one of my clients. We do not want fitness to take over our life. We want it to enhance our life so that our family, our relationships, our work, our career, everything in life is just enhanced due to our health and our fitness. Because, yeah, without proper health, you can't really do a whole lot. You don't have the energy to go out and explore, to network, to be there for their kids, to play with them, to be there for the special occasions, to do anything in life. So, without, at the very least, having this as your core anchor, nothing really matters in life. So in today's video, I'm going to break down why busy men specifically, you watching, struggle with fat loss, the hidden traps no one talks about, and the exact system that fixes it. Now, before we dive in, if you are serious about losing body fat, I run a free fat loss group where I literally break down everything from workouts to meal plans to courses to guides to free cookbooks, protein cookbook, everything. And I give it all away for free in my fat loss group. The link will be in the description down below. It is completely free. All right. With that out of the way, let's jump into it. Starting with point number one. Your schedule is fighting your physiology. So here's the problem. Most fat loss advice that you see on the internet, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you go to look for news or look for information, they assume that you have unlimited mental energy, that you have flexible times, that you have no work stress, you have no kids, no children, and no late nights. But you know very well that that is not true. All of these things that I just listed out, you are probably dealing with. Late nights at work, waking up early, staying up late, taking care of the kids, issues at home, issues with the family. There's always something going on, right? So you're juggling meetings, deadlines, family responsibilities. And here's what the science shows. Chronic stress, the daily stressors that you have on a daily basis, increases your cortisol. And cortisol is a catabolic, which means muscle breakdown hormone within your body. So whenever your body is in a stressed out state, you are just simply more prone to muscle breakdown, muscle loss, and then also more fat gain. And so that's why you hear me talk about it all the time. The more things that we can do to simply reduce our stress levels, both physical stress and mental stress, the easier your fat loss endeavors will be. It becomes increasingly more difficult to lose body fat, gain muscle, and live this healthy, active lifestyle when you're constantly stressed out. And here's another thing. When you are stressed out, your sleep sucks. It plummets. And when we lack sleep, like there's so much new research coming out that more bad things happen and more like fat losses becomes even more difficult. And especially when it comes to sticking to your diet, because two critical appetite hormones within our body go into opposite bad directions. So leptin, which is a hunger hormone in your body that signals that you're nice and satisfied after eating, goes down. And then ghrelin, which is another hunger hormone in your body, which signals that you're constantly hungry, craving like food, actually goes up. So by you being in a stressed out state and therefore being sleep deprived, you're just going to be less satisfied after eating, craving more food. You're going to be more prone to muscle loss and more prone to fat gain, all of which you don't want. So if you can simply fix these two things, everything else in your life will just feel so much easier. Like literally, it'll feel easier. You're not going to be sleep deprived. You're not going to be running off caffeine. You're not going to reach for that second cup of coffee. You're not going to be snacking all throughout the day because your hunger hormones are all out of whack. And you're not going to be hopping on the scale every single morning, seeing the weights continuously keep on going up because you can't control your hunger. All of these things can simply get fixed by just improving your sleep and your stress levels. Anyway, let's get back into what I was going to say. Elevated cortisol increases cravings for high-calorie foods. Sleep deprivation also reduces leptin and increases your ghrelin, which I just talked about, meaning you feel hungrier and less satisfied simultaneously. And there's a 2004 study in Annals of Internal Medicine showing that sleep restriction significantly reduces fat loss even when calories are controlled. So it's not just discipline, it is biology. Now, the men who succeed stop trying to be like bodybuilders. They become system builders. If your plan requires perfection, you are going to fail. You will. And you've probably noticed this. You've probably experienced this. You tried following an extreme, perfect on paper plan. But then you're sitting here watching this video because you have fallen off, not just once, probably numerous times. And then every single month, you come across this new fitness influencer. You come across this new workout program. And you're like, oh, this is new. This is exciting. This is flashy. Let me give it a try. You get brainwashed into this really cool marketing, this really cool whatever it may be. And you get sucked in thinking that, oh, maybe this will be the way. This will be the new thing. This is what I'm missing. This is like the missing piece to the puzzle. When in reality, this is not what you need. So here's the fix. What you actually need is something you can repeat on a daily basis, on the days when you even feel lazy. Because if you can do something on the days when you feel lethargic, lazy, demotivated, which unfortunately is more often than not, that's when you know your system and your program is bulletproof. So what you need is 3 high protein meals every single day. Every single meal that you eat cannot be classified as a meal if it does not involve a quality source of protein. Think of your chicken, your beef, your fish, your eggs, Greek yogurt, low-fat dairy products. These are the anchor for every meal that you eat. If you eat a meal without protein, it is not a meal. Even your snacks, like if you're a snacker, if you're a grazer, I would firstly recommend not to do that because a lot of people tend to overdo it on their calories whenever they snack because they don't take that into account. They forget what they snacked on, and especially some snacks are very calorically dense, meaning that they're very high in calories, very easy to overeat, and without you taking that into account, you could very easily eat hundreds, if not thousands of extra calories every single day, every single week, which can lead you to be in a calorie surplus, which therefore you're gaining body fat over time. So make sure every meal, every snack you eat, high protein. Make them simple, repeatable, and predictable. Same thing goes with your training. Simple, repeatable training split. Pre-planned damage control meals for work events. So that means maybe having some protein bars with you on the go, a scoop of protein powder. Nowadays, you go to a gas station, they have protein cookies, they have protein drinks, like they have protein everything. I'm not saying it's the healthiest, but it's a far better alternative to eating like a sugary candy bar. So do that, and then also make your sleep non-negotiable. That is what my client Jeff did. He was working 60 hours a week and he lost 55 pounds. No crazy cardio, no starvation, just a simple structure that he could repeat even on his worst days. Moving on to point number 2. You are trying to out-exercise a lifestyle. And how often have you heard this saying before? You cannot out-train a bad diet. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. And it's true. If you actually look at the stats and look at the numbers, it will blow your mind in terms of how long you would have to run for, bike for, exercise for, walk for to burn off a 300, 400 calorie cookie donut. And it does suck. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's like, if I could change one thing, this would probably be one of the things that I would change right away. If I was like the master of the universe, I would probably change this because it is very, for lack of a better term, demoralizing. It's very difficult to comprehends that it takes literally seconds to eat 1,000 calories. Literally, like without even trying. You go to an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet, you go to any all-you-can-eat buffet, you go to any grocery store, and you just pick up a random box of cookies, a dozen donuts. How quickly could you get that down, realistically, if you were like semi-hungry? Maybe a couple minutes, and then boom, 1,000 calories down the hash, down. Do you know how long it takes to burn 1,000 calories through just exercise alone? It's going to take you hours. What took you seconds to consume will take you hours, like literally like a lot of hours to burn off. And so knowing this, you're going to be far better off by actually controlling the foods that go into your mouth, that go into your body, than trying to out-exercise a poor diet. You can try, be my guest, but you are going to fail once again. You will fail. You will. 100%. You can try right now, but you will fail. So, busy men don't lack intensity. They lack recovery bandwidth. You try to crush a 90-minute workout, go extreme on calories, add cardio on top, but then you will burn out, right? And most studies show adherence, being able to stick to something, is the number one predictor of fat loss success. And it makes sense, right? Because the longer you can stick with something, the more consistent you will be. And the more consistent you will be, the better your results will be. Consistency is the name of the game, right? So it's not about having the perfect macros, the best training split. It is adherence. What can you stick to long term? If your plan exhausts you, if you don't look forward to it, if you dread your workouts, if you dread your diet, if you just hate your life, yes, don't be surprised if you fall off every single weekend and you go back to your old habits again, and then you restart every single Monday. If your plan exhausts you, it dies. Now, the Barbarian method, which is what we teach inside of our coaching program, focuses on some very simple things anyone can do, no matter how busy your schedule is. It includes time-efficient weight training sessions, walking targets instead of endless cardio, food you can eat with your family, with your coworkers, with your friends, so you're not living in this box where you can only eat Tupperware, chicken, broccoli, and rice, and no drastic bulking and cutting cycles. This is why bulking and cutting fails busy men. Your habits should not change every phase. Fitness is an infinite game, and consistency beats intensity. On that note, you see a lot of influencers tell you need to go on a bulk, you need to go on a cut. And 100%, if you are currently very overweight, then yes, you have to be on a cut, on a fat loss phase to lose the body fat. Or if you're very, very skinny and you just like, you need to gain weight, otherwise like you're not healthy, then yes, you need to go on a bulk. But the issue that I have with this yo-yo approach of bulking, cutting cycles is that they require drastically different habits. And I am all about longevity and sustainability. And if one phase of an approach requires you to eat junk food, stuff yourself with food, eat when you're not hungry, neglect cardio because you're bulking and all these other things, which really aren't healthy habits, that's not good for you, right? And then on the other end of the extreme, on a cutting phase, when you're depriving yourself from food, you're not able to eat out, you're doing endless amounts of cardio, you're like food focused, your libido goes down, your sex drive goes down, you can't sleep anymore, all these things start to suffer. That also is not fun or sustainable, right? And so by you flip-flopping from bulking to cutting, both of them have unhealthy habits that are required in order to successfully bulk and successfully cut. And so that's why for most of our clients who come to us, like, yes, we help them lose 30 to 50 pounds, but we do it in a way where it's just involved in their lifestyle. It is just part of their life, and they don't really view it as like, oh, I'm on a cutting phase or I'm on a bulking phase. I'm just living a healthy lifestyle. And by me living this lifestyle, I naturally just drop the body fat. I drop the weight and gain the muscle and feel better and feel energized. And here's the most important part about this. Because it is ingrained in your lifestyle, because it's turned into a habit, once you get the results, which you inevitably will, You get to keep the results too, because you have gone through the transformation. You've taken your time with this, and you've literally turned into the person who doesn't just get six-pack abs, but who can now maintain six-pack abs. And that is far more important than just getting somewhere and then losing it right away. Who cares if you get in shape for a day, for a Mexico trip, for a beach vacation? If you lose it all again after that trip is done, after the couple days of the photo shoot of whatever it is, right? Like we set deadlines, specifically when it comes to fitness, we set deadlines to things when in reality, there is no deadline. Like the entire point of fitness is to stay fit. It's not just to get fit for a summer vacation. It's to stay fit forever. So that next year, we're also still fit. And then the year after, we're still fit. And then during the winter months, we're fit. And then during the springtime. And then in the fall. And then in the summer, we're fit year round so that we can be healthy and functioning year round. I don't want to just look good for the summer for 3 months and then look like trash the other 9 months out of the year. Like, no, I want to be able to take off my shirt anytime, anywhere I go. I recently ran my 6th marathon on Sunday, the Austin Marathon, literally 2 days ago, just randomly. I live in Houston. Austin is like a 2.5-hour drive. I'm like, oh, they're doing a marathon? Let me join. Let me do it. Absolutely crushed it. And had I had been on my bulking phase, I would not have been able to do that. My cardiovascular health would have sucked, especially the Austin Marathon. It's very hilly. It is very difficult, a very difficult course. I finished in around 3 hours and 40 minutes, which isn't my best. My best is 3 hours and 15 minutes. But yeah, just being able to just sporadically run marathons on a whim is low-key a nice flex. I'll be honest. I did the exact same thing in Hawaii. I was there in December. I did the Honolulu Marathon. I was there on like a fitness retreat, and the marathon just happened to be on one of the days. And I had literally just gone on like a really long hike, a 6-hour hike the night before. And I got back home late, didn't have the best of sleep, but I woke up, had a good breakfast, fueled, and boom, ran the Honolulu Marathon in 3 hours and 24 minutes. And just being able to do things like this sporadically on a whim is amazing, because this is like what life is all about, being able to experience new things. And had I had not been fit, I would not have been able to experience that or go on these hikes, like some beautiful hikes in Hawaii, right? And so that's why I really preach just like a longevity, sustainability approach to fitness, where you're not stuffing yourself with food every single day, but you're not starving yourself either. You're not food focused all the time, but you still enjoy a meal out every now and then. I love sushi, and I could not imagine a life where I no longer have sushi anymore. I'm a big foodie at heart. So yeah. And by the way, like if you're enjoying this video right now, be sure to go subscribe, because all of my videos, I drop nuggets like this all the time. So yeah, just make sure you subscribe. Anyway, moving on to point number 3, the identity drift. This one is a bit steeper. So you used to maybe be disciplined. You used to maybe be athletic, and you used to be sharp, maybe back in high school, back in college, or maybe like a Chad, right? You were athletic, you were playing all the sports, and now you say, I just don't have time. I am too lazy. I am too busy. But that's not true. What actually happened? Your identity, it shifted. You became the provider, the manager, the problem solver, but you stopped being the athlete. You stopped viewing yourself as this type of person. And research in behavioral psychology shows that identity-based habits are far more sustainable than outcome-based habits. So, for example, if you chase weight loss, losing weight, you are going to quit. But if you become the man who trains, who eats healthy, who prioritizes their sleep no matter what, you don't negotiate, because now it's part of your identity. It is part of who you are. I'm a healthy eater. I'm a working out person. I'm an exerciser. I'm someone who prioritizes their sleep. Just like I schedule in and clock in at work, I schedule my workouts in advance. I schedule my sleep in advance. If you become the kind of man who trains no matter what, you do not negotiate. So stop chasing abs and start rebuilding your identity. train like a leader, eat like a role model, and move like someone your kids, your friends, your family members actually look up to. Because when you fix your identity, whatever the initial goal was for you, let's say it's fat loss, will just follow. It'll just come as a side effect. It'll come as a byproduct. And I think this is such a powerful thing, because now instead of you being so focused on the number on the scale, on just like losing the fat, you're not focused on that anymore. You're focused on, okay, well, what actions do I need to take in order to reach that goal? Well, it probably means eating healthier, tracking my food, hitting my macros, eating enough protein, drinking enough water, going on my daily walks, getting enough steps in, doing some cardio along the way, prioritizing my sleep, reducing my stress. And if you just focus on the behaviors, the daily to-do list, you will get to your goal inevitably. It'll just be a matter of time. So here's your practical action plan. If I were rebuilding a busy man from scratch, here's what I would do. Starting with nutrition, protein at every meal. We talked about how important protein is. Minimum 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You weigh 200 pounds, you eat 200 grams of protein. No need to overcomplicate this. Second thing is I would lift 2 to 4 times per week. 45-minute sessions focusing on compound lifts, exercises that recruit multiple muscle groups in one exercise, gives you the best bang for the buck. So instead of doing like chest flies to isolate your chest, you're going to be doing bench presses, which targets both your chest and your front delts and your triceps. More bang for the buck. So not as much isolation and more compound work. And then I'd focus on progressive overload. You have to be getting stronger. You have to be adding more weight, adding more reps over time, because if you don't, your body will not grow. It will not receive a stimulus for it to keep on growing. At the start, you may experience something, but if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, you are insane, as Albert Einstein would say. Thirdly, 8 to 10,000 steps daily. This is a non-negotiable. Make it part of your routine. If it's a morning walk, an afternoon walk, evening walk, lunch break walk, walk, whatever fits best within your schedule, just walk, non-negotiable. Fourthly, one planned, if you want to, indulgence per week, not chaos, just a planned meal, whether it's some pizza with your friends, a burger, fries, sushi, whatever it may be, just to kind of keep that sanity going. Fifthly is protect sleep like your promotion depends on it. If you were to actually protect your sleep like your promotion depends on it, you would actually go to bed on time. You would not be scrolling TikTok at night. Like the amount of people that just disrespect their sleep by staying up an extra hour, watching an extra TV show. Like it is disrespectful because you are literally ruining the day tomorrow in order to have some short-term pleasure today. But I just really think, and this isn't just in fitness, but this is just general life advice. The more you can delay your gratification, the better off your life will be. And I've just seen this in real life happen in any aspect of life, with my business, with my finances, with my investments, with obviously my health, with my relationships, just with everything. If you can just delay your gratification, your life will drastically improve. And I know it's difficult. We live in this short-term gratification world where we want everything instantly. Everything is a click away. You want food, Uber Eats. You want, you're horny, you go to this website. Like everything is like a fingertip away, a tap away. And if you can somehow go through this while delaying your gratification, I just think from a internal perspective, the way you view yourself, and this is something that no one can take away from you. Like no one can say anything about you because you know deep down what it took in order to get to where you want to be. And so that's why a lot of people, especially on social media, when they talk to me and they leave a negative comment, they're like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're too little of this, you're too much of that. Like whatever they say, whatever it may be, it really doesn't affect me because I know that they don't know what I have gone through in order to get to where I am now. And they have different goals than me, different perspectives than me. Like everything is different, right? And so I just think knowing that, it just makes you unstoppable. It makes you unbreakable. Anyway, when energy improves, your productivity improves. When your confidence improves, your leadership improves. And when your physique improves, your attraction improves. Health, being healthy, makes wealth and relationships much easier, and not the other way around. So make health a fundamental core of your daily routine. And I guarantee you, your wealth, your relationships will all drastically improve. So to finish off, busy men do not struggle because they are weak. You're not weak. You know you're not. They struggle because they're trying to follow advice that is built for high school students, college kids, and influencers who have unlimited time, no responsibilities, and no kids. Like I'll say this right now. Like, yes, if you're 18 years old, it's actually, I'd actually be surprised if you're not in shape because you have all the time in the world. I'm not impressed by a 18-year-old physique who's ripped and shredded. They go to the gym 4 hours a day. They sleep like a baby. No responsibilities. They skip school. They skip homework. Nothing happens. They go to the gym. They eat a bunch of protein to go to sleep, and boom, they're jacked. Cool. If I see a 40-year-old that's in tip-top phenomenal shape with a career, with a demanding job, with a family, relationships, kids, all these things that have to juggle, now that is impressive. And you get there by building these systems that I outlined in today's video. We've helped hundreds of busy men go through this, who have kids, who have relationships, who have wives, who travel for work, who do all these things, right? So you don't need anything extreme. You just need a sustainable plan. And if you are serious about finally fixing this, you can go ahead and book a free consultation call with me down below, where we'll break down your schedule, your stress, your nutrition, your training, and build a system that works with your life. The link will be in the description down below, and I'll see y'all there. Peace.